Once again, I apologize for the fan because it is too hot where I'm living, so yeah, please excuse that. Of course, before I get into the video, I just want to state that I will not be covering the Undead Nightmare DLC from Red Dead 1, as, well, I really don't have interest in that one. So, side missions in Red Dead are pretty fun, but most of them are kind of boring. So I gathered a few picks, and, well, here are my favorite side missions in the Red Dead games. Starting off at number 7, the noblest of men and women. So this one is from Red Dead 2. Pretty much in this one, you're just taking down some famous gunslingers for this one guy who's writing a biography about this other dude, Jim Boy Calloway. This one is pretty simple. Just you gotta duel quite a few famous gunslingers, but you gotta go out of your way to find some of these guys. And personally, most of them aren't all that interesting. They just give you a uniquely named weapon. Probably the only interesting part of this is, of course, the Black Bell part of the mission, as you get in a massive shootout with some bounty hunters or something. So that's really the only thing I like about that one. Of course, at number 6, I of course have the Wisdom of the Elders, once again from Red Dead 2. So there's these strange happenings going around this one place, and now it's kind of up to you to figure out what exactly is happening. This one guy has pretty much fooled all the people living there, as it's like some curse that's affecting him or something. Of course, I think what it turns out to be is like arsenic poisoning or something. And of course, in the end, no one believes the player, and they just continue believing this guy. It's not the best side mission in the game, but it's certainly one of the more memorable ones. Of course, at number 5, we of course have a bright bouncing boy from Red Dead 2. This one is probably one of my favorite side missions in the entire game. That's because it's just so out there. So you help this one guy, Marco Dragic, with a few of his experiments, and, well, he's building a robot. It doesn't really go well the first time, but you of course come back a few days later, find out that he's dead, and, well, most people would just assume that's it, but you can actually find a robot, and he's like up in the mountains, which is probably a little creepy, but kind of cool. It's definitely one of the best side missions in the entire series, and one that I would definitely play through again. Of course, at number 4, I of course have American Appetites from Red Dead 1. So this is probably gonna be one of the probably one of the first side missions you get in the game. So what's happening in this one is that there's a dude eating people. It's pretty much just like that, and you kind of gotta investigate around, find out who's doing it, and towards the end of the series of side missions, it gives you a option to kill the cannibal or let him like eat this one dude, which is kind of morbid. But yeah, that's kind of Rockstar. They're kind of morbid. Of course, next up, I of course have Flowers for a Lady from Red Dead 1. If I recall correctly, I think this one was on one of my previous Red Dead videos. So in this one, you encounter this one guy, and it's his anniversary, and he wants you to collect some flowers for his wife. Okay, it's not as bad. Well, you get those flowers, and turns out his wife has been dead for like 20 years. Yeah. This game is definitely a bit morbid, but, I mean, at least, I was gonna compare it to Seth, but I don't know which one's darker. Because this one does remind me of a story called The New Wife, So check that one out if you haven't already. Of course, next up we of course have I Know You from Red Dead 1. Probably one of Red Dead's most iconic side missions is of course I Know You. This one of course tests John's honor. And well, there's a lot of theories about the strange man, none of which I'm going to be covering. But this one is pretty interesting. You meet this guy, I think, pretty early on in the game, and he claims he knows you. And your other encounters with him are, of course, well, deciding John's morality, like if John's gonna do good or bad. But then his final appearance is, of course, overlooking his house in, I think, Beecher's Hope, if I recall correctly. But what's creepy is that this is the same place where John gets buried later in the game. Plus, there's a lot of theories going around that this guy is Trelawney from Red Dead 2, but, I mean, John would have known him. Like, John knew Trelawney. He would have recognized him. But, well, aside from all the unanswered questions, this is definitely one of the more interesting side missions. And probably one of the more eerie ones. And of course, number one, I of course have The Wronged Woman from Red Dead Redemption. Actually, one of my very first Red Dead videos. And so, for those who've never played this one, well, here's what happens. You meet this lone woman outside Blackwater who claims that she was taken advantage of by her former employer and left pregnant by him. You, of course, confront him, and it ends up with a duel ending with him being killed. You give the money back to her, and a few days later, you visit his grave, and of course find his widow. Turns out, this woman, oh, she lied to you, and basically you killed an innocent man. This one definitely really hurts to know afterwards, because, oh, this dude did nothing wrong, and he died because some dude believed some random person. I don't know why this one really stuck in my head out of all of them, but to me it's one of the more interesting side missions in any Rockstar games. As it's just, I don't know. But that's all I have for this one. I'll of course cover more side missions in GTA 5 later on, but that's all I really have for today. So, thanks and goodbye.